What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham G.S. Matthews, break down all the original content you watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today we're talking the May 11, 2024 edition of the SmackDown LowDown. Megan Morant and Scott Stanford in the studio, per usual. Opening the episode, running down the updated brackets from the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments that not started on SmackDown, but the SmackDown side of the bracket started on Friday. So they run down the updated brackets with everyone that won from Friday night. This was taped before last night's house show in, I think it was Chattanooga, Tennessee, where they taped Knight and Escobar and Stratton and Meechin, which I'll talk about at the end of this review. But they did not include the winners of those matches in the bracket because they hadn't happened yet. But they do replay the opening segment with Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, setting up their champion versus champion match, which we don't know yet. I checked the WWE.com preview, and there wasn't any indication that it will be for both belts. They imply that it will be. I hope it's not. That would be pretty fucking stupid. It might, I doubt it'd be non-title. That'd also be very dumb. At that point, just put the World Championship on the line. Because they did say it would be Cody Rhodes' next challenger. If it's a non-title match for both belts, that's stupid. And I already talked about this at length in my SmackDown review from earlier. But just put the WWE title. The United States Championship does not need to be on the line. That makes no sense. Probably will be, but that's dumb. They previewed next week's contract signing. They replayed Carmelo Hayes beating Baron Corbin in the first round of the King of the Ring tournament. Carmelo says backstage with Byron Saxton. He asks, I guess Byron asks him, has it set in yet that you're going to be facing Randy Orton in the next round? Carmelo counters that and says, has it set in for Randy yet that he's facing me in the next round of this tournament? He says that Orton's days might be behind him, his best days might be behind him, and he calls himself the future, saying that people are talking right now about the youth movement and the him era, and says that he was picked on SmackDown before Randy Orton was. Orton was picked, which is true, in the second round of Night 1 on the WWE Draft this year. Carmelo was picked round 1. So coming out of that match, they're not going to be saying RKO, they're going to be saying HIM. Scott Stanford says to never count out Randy Orton back in the studio. They replay Jade Cargill versus Piper Niven, a much better than expected match, actually. I thought they had a basic match, but it wasn't a fucking disaster like I thought it might be. It was good stuff from Jade, and Niven also playing her role really well, I thought. They preview Cargill and Jax in the next round before replaying Bianca Belair's win over Candice LeRae. We hear from Jade and Bianca backstage with Kayla Braxton. Bianca says that she injured her knee in the match, which Candice targeted throughout the match. But it won't affect her in the next round, she says. And then when Kayla asks Jade and Bianca as well, about the possibility of them facing each other in this tournament, which is a very real possibility, not in the next round, but the round after that, I believe. It would be, I think, the semifinals for SmackDown, because the next round is the quarterfinals. After that would be the semifinals on SmackDown, so that would make sense. And Cargill kind of dodges the question, saying, well, we're just kind of focused on this win for right now. And she says that she and Bianca, in regards to facing Nia next week, Nia is good, but she and Bianca will continue to take over the women's division. Scott Stanford says it will be difficult to find a weakness for Jax and Jade Cargill. She's been very dominant so far, which is true. But he also questions if Bianca and Cargill, their friendship will hold up if they go one-on-one. I don't want to say when, because I feel like there's a chance, and they should not do that match, by the way. If it's not the finals, even then I wouldn't do it at all. I feel like it's too soon. I would hold off on it. He questions if they do have to go one-on-one in the semifinals, that, will they hold up? Or will the friendship hold up? Since they're the current WWE Tag Team Champions, the Women's Tag Team Champions. If Bianca's injured her knee, which is kind of a similar story to Orton, so doing the same story on SmackDown in the tournament, which is it's weird. But maybe that costs Bianca's match with Tiffany. So Tiffany beats Bianca, and then she faces Jade in the semifinals. I hope Tiffany goes all the way. She probably won't, but that's probably what I would do. Maybe she could beat Jade by countout or some shit. I don't know. I just feel like that would make more sense, with a Io Tiffany final, or maybe Lyra and Tiffany final. And the finals of last year's Battleground event in the NXT Women's Championship tournament. That was also the finals of that tournament. Tiffany won that. She should win this too. Anyway, so they replay Nia Jax beating Naomi and advancing. We hear from Nia Jax afterward with Byron Saxton, and she says, listen, Jade is great. She's been very good so far, but she questions if Jade is ready for her. And that was really about it. She says that, Byron, you know better. You know what I'm capable of. I'm ready and willing to destroy Jade next week on SmackDown. Another very interesting match. She and Niven exceeded expectations. I don't know if Jade and Nia will be as good. It might be a fucking disaster. We'll see. I've said that before because I thought we might get that match at Mania this year. We did not. So we'll see how it plays out next week on SmackDown. They replay Tama Tonga beating Angelo Dawkins to advance, Orton beating AJ in the main event to advance. They show off the updated brackets again. They hype LA Knight and Escobar and Stratton and Meechin at Saturday's house show in Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee, I believe, which, like I said, they already taped as of this recording. As you would expect, Knight beat Escobar, Stratton beat Meechin, and then tonight at the house show in Georgia, which they really should have promoted this stuff on SmackDown. I don't even know if they mentioned these matches on SmackDown. The Raw matches, they did say they hyped them up with promos and shit. They did that for the Raw matches, but they didn't even say where those were taking place. They just said at a house show this weekend, and a live event this weekend. Why not say where and like boost ticket sales? They said here on SmackDown LowDown, but SmackDown LowDown is not SmackDown. So at least they did it at all, which is nice. But they hyped Kofi Kingston and Rey Mysterio tonight in the first round of the King of the Ring tournament, as well as Shayna Baszler versus Zelina Vega at the Tonight Show, at Tonight Show, I believe in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. So that was SmackDown LowDown for May 11th, 2024. Pretty standard stuff. Breaking down SmackDown, a very King and Queen of the Ring heavy show. We'll talk more about it next week here on the show. I don't think they're doing an episode in 2 weeks before King and Queen of the Ring, which they didn't do last week due to the early pay-per-view start time, so that would make sense, but we'll have a review next week nonetheless. Thank you guys for checking out the video. I appreciate it. Be sure to drop a comment, like, share the video, all that great stuff. Have an awesome one. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.